The N1 and N2 highways north of Cape Town are the two main arteries bringing thousands of workers and job seekers to economic opportunities in the central metro each day. News out this week that SANRAL could start work on a tolling system similar to the one in Gauteng as early as April has provoked a public outcry from road users. We took to the streets to gauge the public's opinion.
Where's the money going to? So we're actually paying double now. Fuel prices already going up, so the situation is like hopeless for us.
We are suffering at the moment. The economy, people are not working, they are unemployed. Now the costs involved with the e-tolling and petrol, it will make the food rise and all the cost. The cost of living is too high now.
My thoughts for that is not a good thing, because from Paarl to Joburg there's 5 toll gates, and you pay a lot of money for toll gates, and now they want to make toll gates in Cape Town. No, that is not a good thing.
If you're going to add it to the rising cost of fuel, the rising cost of electricity, parking in Cape Town, for example, it's just an additional 200 Rand a week, so an extra 200 Rand, petrol goes up another 200 Rand, it's extra 400-500 Rand a week, which kind of adds up to 2 grand a month. So, I don't see any extra added benefit. Yes, I'm going to be paying an extra 30 Rand to go through the toll road, but I somehow don't think you're going to be spending that money on the roads. I mean, look at the condition of the roads that we have at the moment.
And we're paying for a license, our car roadworthy for our cars a year. Every year we do pay for the license to use the roads. But now they find another way of making money out of us. Now what is the use of we having cars if it's going to become expensive for us to maintain and uphold cars and actually drive it on the road? It doesn't actually make sense.
It's really going to affect us as taxi drivers. You see, let's say if they put tolls on N1, we always go to Central City to and from. So now it's going to affect our business, meaning that we're going to end up make our prices go up, because our price is going to go up for us to earn something.
Meanwhile, the city of Cape Town's municipality is currently engaging with SANRAL on delaying commencement of the tolling system until June or until more information on the project is placed in the public space for discussion. We spoke to the city's transport representative, Brett Heron, about the developments.
Well, the project is about 10 or 11 years old in concept, and it was a proposal that SANRAL received from a consortium to toll the N1 and N2, to do some construction work and then to operate a toll. The City of Cape Town has for a long time opposed this plan on a number of grounds, but really in 2011 it became clear that SANRAL was pushing ahead with it, and so the city has brought a number of applications to try and prevent this from happening. We in November 2011 we brought an interdict application to prevent SANRAL from proceeding with the project, on the basis that we wanted to bring an application to review the decisions of the National Minister of Transport and the National Minister of Environment Affairs. So that urgent interdict application was brought on the basis of a future review application. We brought the review application in March last year, and for the last year we've been exchanging documents and pleadings with SANRAL around this review application. We recently received word from SANRAL, or notice from SANRAL, that they intended to now proceed with the toll project, the N1 and N2 highways, and this has prompted the city to approach the High Court for an urgent interdict to prevent them from doing so.
When looking at the N1 and N2, Councillor, what upgrades are necessary to these highways and what proportion of that will be funded by SANRAL?
Well, there are some upgrades that we would find beneficial, but the city's not convinced that all of the upgrades are absolutely essential for traffic flow. The concept of the toll road project and the increasing in road capacity on the N1 and N2 was conceived, as I said, about 10 or 11 years ago. But the traffic flow projections, in our view, that the project was based on have never been reached. SANRAL have talked about a 10 billion Rand price tag, but more recently they're saying that they're not sure that that is the price tag, and I would be surprised if it is 10 billion Rand, considering how old this project is and how costs have escalated. We know in the Gauteng project, for example, how the costs escalated way beyond projections. And then we need to add the cost of actually operating a toll to the cost of the project. So the total costs of this project are still unknown to the city.
When talking about the tolls, Councillor, what form do you believe they're likely to take? Will it be the same as the e-toll situation in the Gauteng?
initially, the documentation that I saw on the high-level plan was for toll gates, but SANRAL may well have moved beyond that and maybe looking at implementing an e-tolling system like they've done in Gauteng, but really the city's in the dark.
What impact do you think this would have on the Western Cape economy if they did implement an e-tolling system? Do you think the short-term costs, will they be cushioned by long-term efficiencies in transport?
In our view, there will be a severe impact on the economy. The cost of moving goods, particularly agricultural produce, would increase, and there will be a burden on mostly poorer residents who live on the outskirts of the city, who use the N1 and N2 every single day to access economic opportunities and social amenities. So the impact on the city, its economy and our residents, we believe would be quite devastating.
The Gauteng e-tolling project was met with quite a bit of public resistance. What do you anticipate in the Western Cape? Do you believe it'll be met with the same resistance?
I'm absolutely sure that we will have the same resistance that was seen in Gauteng. And I think as more and more information becomes available to the public and they begin to understand the full impact of this project, the public resistance will obviously increase.
Touching on the public, it seems that citizens are not opposed to paying for electricity and water, but when it comes to roads, it's seen as quite a different commodity. What's your opinion on this? Do you think this adds to the resistance of the e-tolling project?
I think there are a number of issues that we need to consider, particularly with the Cape Town situation. The first is that the roads exist and have been used for decades by residents in Cape Town to access the city and to access their jobs and to access markets and social amenities, and it's almost preposterous to come and toll them now when they're not new roads, when SANRAL's not providing anything extra, there's no alternative, you use the road and you pay for it. So I think from that perspective there's an unfair element to this proposal. That's compounded by apartheid spatial planning, which puts poorer, mostly black people living on the outskirts of the city. And the toll road project would then require them to pay to travel into the city, which is something they've been able to do without a toll for many, many years, as I said.
What other options do you believe that SANRAL have for raising money to fund road and highway projects? Do you believe there are any options viable for Western Cape?
Well, I think we already do pay for road infrastructure through the fuel levy, and we need to look at how that has been apportioned and used. And I think SANRAL needs to have a more transparent engagement with the people of South Africa and with the municipalities and with provincial governments around road funding. All spheres of government struggle to maintain our road infrastructure. It's a huge burden in terms of our budgets, but we managed to do so. And we need SANRAL to engage with us, and to collectively, I'm sure we could find a way of doing this other than through toll gates.